Imagine you're building a car. You have wheels, you have an engine, you have doors, you have seats. But if you don't know where each part goes, you will end up with a very expensive sofa on wheels. That's exactly what happens when people learn English vocabulary but don't learn sentence structure. Many learners know thousands of words, yet they still struggle to speak correctly. Why? Because they don't understand types of sentences, subject, predicate, phrase, clause. Today we are going to master all 5 topics in one lesson. And by the end of this video, English sentences will make much more sense. So are you ready? Let's begin. Part 1. What is a sentence? Before learning types of sentences, let's understand what a sentence actually is. A sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. Example, I love pizza. It's a complete thought. It's a sentence. Now look at this. Because I love pizza. It's not complete. Something is missing. This is not a complete sentence. A sentence must have meaning. It must be complete. It usually contains a subject and a verb. Simple enough. Now let's learn the different types of sentences. English has 4 main types of sentences: declarative, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory. Let's explore each one. Type 1. Declarative sentence. A declarative sentence gives information. It tells something. Example, I'm hungry. She lives in Delhi. The movie was amazing. As simple as that. You are declaring information. Think of a declarative sentences as the news reporters of English. They simply tell facts. Example, it is raining. No excitement, no question, no command, just information. Let's understand it with a funny example. If your mom asks you, who ate the cake? Your brother replies, the cake is missing. That's a declarative sentence, and also a very suspicious one. Type 2. Interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence asks a question. Examples, where do you live? What is your name? Why are you late? Notice the question mark. These sentences want information. Let's understand it with an example. If teacher asks you, why is your homework blank? You may reply, can blank pages express creativity? That is definitely an interrogative sentence and probably a dangerous answer. Type 3. Imperative sentence. An imperative sentence gives a command, request, advice, or instruction. Examples, sit down, please help me, close the door, drink more water. Notice something interesting. The subject is usually hidden. For example, open the window. It actually means you open the window. The word you is understood. Let's again understand it with an example. If your mom asks you, clean your room, you may reply, I was emotionally attached to the mess. Your mom asserts, clean it anyway. That's an imperative sentence. Coming to type 4, exclamatory sentence. An exclamatory sentence expresses strong emotion. Examples, what a beautiful day. That's amazing. Wow, I can't believe it. These sentences show excitement, surprise, happiness, anger, or shock. Funny example. If your friend says, I finished a 500-page book in one day, you may reply, what? That's an exclamatory sentence and probably a miracle. Let's do the quick review. Declarative, statement. Interrogative, question. Imperative, command. Exclamatory, strong emotion. And congratulations, you now know the 4 sentence types, but we are just getting started. Now, let's meet the star of every sentence, the subject. The subject tells us who or what the sentence is about. Think of the subject as the main character. Examples: John plays cricket. In this sentence, who plays cricket? John. So John is the subject. The dog barked loudly. Who barked? The dog. That's why the dog is the subject. Let's take a funny example. My phone died. Who died? My phone. So the subject is my phone. Although some people react as if a family member died, right? Let's take more examples. The baby is sleeping. Here the subject is the baby. India won the match. Here the subject is India. My friends are waiting. Here the subject is my friends. Very easy. Just ask who or what. Coming to part 4, predicate. The predicate tells us something about the subject. Everything except the subject is usually the predicate. For example, John plays cricket. Here, the subject is John and predicate is plays cricket. The dog barked loudly. Here, the subject is the dog and predicate is barked loudly. The baby is sleeping. Here, the subject is the baby and the predicate is sleeping. Easy formula. Sentence is equal to subject plus predicate. Example: the teacher explained the lesson. Here, subject is the teacher and predicate is explained the lesson. As simple as that. Every complete sentence generally has both. Let's take a funny example. My cat destroyed my homework. Here, subject is my cat and predicate is destroyed my homework. It's a sentence frequently used by creative students. Coming to part 5, what is a phrase? Now things get interesting. A phrase is a group of words that works together, but it does not have both a subject and a verb. That means it is not a complete sentence. Examples: in the garden, after lunch, very beautiful, under the table. These groups of words have meaning, but they don't express a complete thought. Example: in the garden. We cannot answer who is in the garden. We have no idea. What happened in the garden? We have no idea. It's an incomplete thought. Therefore, it's called phrase. Let's take a funny example. Under the bed. If someone suddenly shouts, "Under the bed," you'll immediately look. But grammatically, it's still a phrase, not a complete sentence. Now, let's understand types of phrases. Let's see some common phrases. First, noun phrase. It acts like a noun. Example: the tall boy, the red car, my best friend. Verb phrase. It acts like a verb. Examples: is running, has been studying, will be working. Third, prepositional phrase. It begins with a preposition. Examples: in the room, on the table, under the bridge. So we are done with part 5 of the video as well. Now we will be talking about clause. What is a clause? A clause is a group of words containing subject and verb. This is where many learners get confused. Remember, phrase, no complete subject verb combination. Clause has subject and verb. Examples of clauses: she is singing. Here the subject is she and the verb is singing. So she is singing is a clause. The dog barked. Here the subject is dog, verb is barked. So the dog barked is a clause. Important. Not all clauses are complete sentences. This is very important. Let's understand why. There are two types of clauses: independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause. An independent clause expresses a complete thought. It can stand alone. Example: I love coffee. Complete meaning, can stand alone. That's why it's independent clause. She passed the exam. Complete thought, and that's why it's an independent clause. Let's talk about dependent clause. A dependent clause contains a subject and verb, but it does not express a complete thought. Because I was tired. Here, subject is I, verb is was. But does it make complete sense? No. The listener waits for more information. Because I was tired. Then what? It's incomplete. That's why it's dependent clause. More examples. When the bell rang. If it rains. Although she studied. All contain subject and verb, but none are complete thoughts. That's why they all are dependent clauses. Let's understand it with a funny example. Imagine your friend texts, because I was hungry, and then disappears. You'll spend the next 3 hours wondering, hungry for what? Pizza? Burger? Revenge? The thought is incomplete. Therefore, it's a dependent clause. Now we will talk about phrase versus clause. This is the most important comparison. Phrase: after the movie. There's no subject-verb combination. Clause: after the movie ended. Here the subject is movie, verb is ended. That's why it's a clause. Phrase: in the room. In the room is the phrase because there's no subject-verb combination. She's in the room. It's a clause because there's subject-verb combination. Can you see the difference? Clauses contain a subject and a verb. Phrases don't. Super easy memory trick. Phrase is equal to no complete subject plus verb team. Clause is equal to subject plus verb team. Sentence is equal to complete thought. Final summary. Today you learned sentence, a complete thought, 4 types of sentences: declarative is equal to statement, interrogative is equal to question, imperative is equal to command, exclamatory is equal to strong emotion. Subject: who or what the sentence is about. Predicate: what the subject does or what is said about it. Phrase: group of words without a complete subject-verb combination. Clause: group of words containing a subject and a verb. Independent clause: it's a complete thought. And dependent clause: it's incomplete thought. Right? I hope you enjoyed the lesson so far. Most English learners spend years memorizing vocabulary. But vocabulary alone doesn't create fluent English. Grammar is the blueprint. Vocabulary is the building material. When you understand subjects, predicates, phrases, clauses, and sentence types. You stop guessing. You start speaking with confidence. If this lesson helped you, write in the comments, I can identify a phrase and a clause. See you there.